Back when you're hanging out with Mike and Robert from Infectious and Suicidal, and tonight, this afternoon, we're here to talk about Suicidal, but first, to get this out of the way, gotta take off the hat. Show us the new do. No. The hat. Okay. Now finally, you gotta understand, I've had my hair short for about something like 7 or 8 months now, and every day, anytime I go somewhere, somebody, so it's gonna drive you up the wall. Well, they probably won't say it to you because they'll probably be scared to say it to you, but why'd you do it?
Well, I guess I got first asked that question 14 years ago, when most people's hair was a lot longer. Then I cut it again 7 years ago, so it goes in 7-year cycles. So it's nothing new to me. Had it short many times, and it's what I got to do, you know? Plus, it's a little bit with the new record we got out, new look, and it's summertime. So.
Looks meaner.
It's very ugly. See, I got this ongoing.
See, I wasn't gonna say that.
I got this ongoing thing. People say I can't keep getting uglier. They say there's a point where you can't get uglier. They keep getting uglier. So, you know, they're getting a little worried now. Every time, like a couple years ago, people said, that's it, you ain't getting no uglier. I said, don't underestimate.
You know, what about this
ugliness.
pretty boy here? We're gonna hold him down, cut his hair.
That's a traditional look, because his dad probably had that look too, I think.
That's a lot of things with people. They say, why you take that look? You're trying to copy someone. I'll show you pictures of my dad, my brother, my family. That's where it all came from, the way we dress, and it's pretty funny. People like the Pendletons and stuff, they go, why are you wearing this? Well, I don't wear flannels, I wear Pendletons.
Exactly.
Pendletons. That's old style, way back. Look at the old pictures. We got some old pictures on the new record showing the look the way it was, way before people were doing, when people used to put us down for dressing that way. So I don't want to hear it.
You were just like 10 years ahead of your time.
Well, those people used to say, why you wear shorts? Why you wear shorts? No one used to wear shorts. I'm not saying they do it because of me, but I'm glad to see there's not a lot of leather here tonight, so I think that the world is much better off.
Well, it's also about 100 degrees. It's 100 degrees out, so that might have something to do with it. We're gonna come back and talk to these guys. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about this new old record thing that's coming out, which is very, very cool. I'm excited about it, and it's coming out on my birthday. So we'll talk about that when the Headbangers Ball continues.
A present to you.
Hanging out with Mike and Robert from Suicidal Tendencies. There's something you guys are going to release on June 15th that is, as far as being a longtime Suicidal fan, I think is very cool. Tell us about it.
What we did is re-recorded the first record. We did a couple songs after joining the Army, another song that never was released, and comes out June 15th, like you said. It's called Still Psycho After All These Years. It's not the old record, it's actually re-recorded with the band, with Robert and Mike and Rocky in it and stuff.
So you took the old songs and went to the studio and cut them all over again.
Yep.
Did it bring back any memories? Because I'm sure like when you did a lot of the old songs, times were real different from you guys. I mean, you guys were just starting off. It was your first time in the studio, and I'm sure you had a much smaller budget than you guys have now.
Well, we did it actually. We did it when we did the Lights Camera Revolution record, and we did the same thing. We just went in there and we just recorded the songs and went straight through them and stuff. And it was a situation for me because it's the second time around. Gave me a chance to get the songs the way I always thought that they should be and stuff. And it's like, you know, a lot of my friends, when we first said we were going to do it, they're like, oh man, how could you do that? And then there was a barbecue, bust it out, put it in the tape. People came running in the house. I got my friends that we like recorded 2 years ago, still calling up, hey man, can I come check it out and stuff? And to me, I don't even listen to the first one. I listen to that because it's bad. It's slamming us all over.
Now, Robert, this was your first time ever playing some of these songs.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen you do it live. I mean, I saw you do Mommy live.
Right.
You still do that on tour.
Yeah.
But I mean, in the studio, you had to do old stuff. Now, were you able to like funk it up or change some of the things a little bit?
Well, actually, the first album is like one of my favorite like ST albums by far, and the one that we're doing now, I mean, it was like a privilege to be able to play these songs and sort of incorporate like my ideas as a bass player to what they were doing. And I mean, like I said, this Still Psycho After All These Years is like my favorite Suicidal album to date. It's a lot of fun. I think everyone's gonna like it. It's also gonna put a lot of the so-called punk bands to shame, especially in the 90s.
I said this, and I kind of think, do you think some of the punk rock stuff is coming back?
No, I don't. I think there's one of the articles that was one of my favorite. It said Suicidal is a band that got a lot of people in Suicidal, and Suicidal is the band that got most people out of punk. I mean, Suicidal is the band that got a lot of people into punk rock. Suicidal is the band that got most people out of punk rock. And basically that's what we want to do. I think music, basically we talk about a music revolution. Well, if it is, they're playing with water pistols because they ain't going with guns. And I'm not saying that in the sense of violence, but it's a joke. New music is a joke as far as we're concerned. We're taking songs that are 10 years old. I Saw Your Mommy, Institutionalized, all these songs the way we did them now, and we'll put them up with anything that's new because we think music's pretty boring and stuff. And basically this is not to fit in, it's basically to show a lot of bands where they're coming from is basically trying to do something they'll think is successful. And we want to put a situation that if it takes us to end our career, I'd do that because we're going to take a couple hundred bands out with us. You know, they have the old Japanese kamikaze things. I appreciate that, that they would do that, drop their plane to kill someone. But you know what? If I'm gonna go out, I'm taking a lot of people with me because I can't listen to the radio, I can't watch MTV. So, editing. Oh, I said I didn't like Clinton, they edited me and they did on this. But that's cool.
You know that when we're gonna watch this Saturday night, we're gonna have you saying, I always watch MTV, is what you were gonna say. Something like that, except for Headbangers Ball, right?
I always watch it to get
just
upset.
nod with
now
it.
we're going like this.
Just nod
Can't
with
say
it.
that.
Mike's going off. Let's play a video. Let's play a video. A much younger Suicidal Tendencies, but
Ricky,
still heavy.
You always say this. Look how young he is. The video is 10 years ago. I'd like to have a picture of you from 10 years ago, and I'm sure you look a little younger.
And you never have one. And you'll never.
He's got a sunburn and he's blushing.
You'll never have one. Suicidal Tendencies, institutionalized.
I don't know why. Why? What? You like that, eh? You like that.
Hanging out with Mike and Robert, Suicidal Tendencies. We were just talking to them. Got a record, Still Psycho after all these years, coming out June 15th. Re-recording the old stuff. Now, it's not just stuff from the first album, right?
Yeah, it's the whole first record, 2 songs, I've Joined the Army, and another song that was never released before.
And what's that song?
Don't Give Me Your Nothing.
Now, is that an old song or is that a newer song?
It's one of the songs we did with the Lights Camera Revolution. Now you won't hear it.
Now, talk about the video. I understand you're going to do...
Yeah, we're actually, one of the chances with this is a lot of times people always have that conversation. They say that they seen you 10 years ago when they didn't. They told you they saw you at places you never play. So actually this is a situation it's 2 things. One, a lot of people when they write in, they say, I got all your records, How Will I Laugh, blah, blah, blah. They don't even know about the first one because I'm independent. And the other is people say, well,
also, the first one's a hard record to get.
It's hard to get around. And people say, I want to see, the whole thing. So this gives us a chance, like a new record, go out there and tour, play a lot of those songs like we do the other things and stuff, So if people want to see it, they can see it.
Comment on that, Robert.
Brilliant, absolutely. Album's brilliant. Well, damn, man. You jack me up like that.
He's out staring at the flowers and stuff. Ate too many of the animal burgers, I think. Okay,
Ricky's food.
Now you're gonna do a video for.
I Saw Your Mommy.
The premise of the song, if you people don't know, is about a guy that's strolling down the street and sees his buddy's mother dead in the gutter, pretty much. Isn't that the premise of that?
Basically, it's a song. A lot of times when it first came out, people said, man, that song is so funny, and you ought to be a comedian. Some people say, that song's so sick, you should be locked up. But everything in that song is put in the story form, and it's stuff that actually came out of the paper and was on the news and things that actually happened. And it's one of those ones, it's in the paper, it's okay. Mike Muir says it, then it's a problem and stuff. So we're going to take it, do the old regular rock and roll thing, AOR single, let the AOR's people hear it.
You know that there's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to touch that song. Or do you think everybody will just play it?
No, most people won't play it, but a lot of them are going to hear it and they're going to get in their little office and stuff and they'll be upset. And I think that's the point. It's more important sometimes to upset people than actually have them hear it because they talk about, we're totally into this and that, but stuff like that scares the crap out of people. And basically, most people that are scared, they should be scared.
But that song also, I've seen you guys live so many times. And even late, like when you guys were out on the road with Megadeth, people like to hear that song.
Yeah.
Even the people that don't have that record. I mean, it's definitely a crowd pleaser when they hear about someone's mother being deceased.
Yeah. That song's kind of got that consistent rhythm and it's got that vibe and it gets the crowd moving. It surprises a lot of people. A lot of people probably aren't even familiar with the song actually, especially the Megadeth sort of vibe.
We'll be back with more Headbangers Ball Barbecue right after this. Back at my barbecue, talking to the guys from Suicidal, now joined by the other Mike. And we were talking about you while you were gone, and the things that they were saying was not very nice.
Yeah,
so we're talking about the old stuff,
hated.
and you've played on a lot of the old stuff, so, I mean, what was it like, going back in the studio doing older Suicidal stuff?
It was great. It was easy because, it's like you could do it in your sleep, you feel like, and it came out really good, so I enjoyed it.
And you're talking a little bit earlier, we kind of cut you off about the video for Mommy. And you already have the plans for it, of how you're going to do it?
Not necessarily, no.
Is it going to be comical, or is it going to be graphic? Because it could be done both ways, you know. I mean, the song, when I hear the song, I don't think of it, oh, this sad, disgusting. I think it's kind of a funny song, you know.
Yeah, it's you know,
I mean,
it's one of those
really
ones
a
that's
funny subject,
a lot of
but
times people talk about things before they're done. It's better just to see what it turns out, so you don't look like a fool. But you know, there's a purpose for the song, and with a lot of times, I think people are they're gonna take something straight on, and they're gonna get their idea of what it is. But you know, whatever.
Okay, now what about the Suicidal tour plans? You guys know what's up now?
From what I know, it's going to be a big old European tour.
Yeah, too big.
Now, I heard some rumors of a couple bands that you might be opening up with. Now, it seems to me like you couldn't get two more ideal situations for a concert to probably open up for. And tell me, can you say those yet?
Yeah, Terrence Trent D'Arby's a really good friend of mine. No, but,
And his separated at birth Siamese twin brother Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny, yeah. No,
Tell us.
Yeah,
Tell us who.
Guns N' Roses is one of them, and then Metallica.
You guys are playing with Guns N' Roses and Metallica in Europe.
Yeah, well, not together. We're switching off.
Now, those are going to be huge shows.
Stadium dates. Yeah.
You looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And definitely, especially playing with Guns N' Roses, I think it gives you the opportunity to turn a lot of people onto Suicidal Tendencies that might not have been into it before.
Yeah, we look at it like kind of like Guns N' Roses, kind of like when we did the Queensryche. Most of the people at the Guns N' Roses, especially in Europe, they won't know who we are, never heard of us before. We'll be a new band, and it'll shock a lot of people. A lot of people say, "Whoa, that's cool" and stuff.
Now,
Whereas,
do you look at that as a challenge? Because I've seen you live. I mean, you've got a great live stage show. And it kind of, for people that I guess that aren't into the band, you kind of pull them in and make them fans. I mean, you look at that as a challenge when you go on stage, like, I'm going to turn these people on to Suicidal.
I think, you know, it's one of those ones, going back in the first interview we did, we said, man, we play with Madonna, not because we like Madonna, but because I think there's a lot of people that listen to her. They listen to her because they haven't heard anything. If they heard Suicidal, they like it. And we said the number one reason why people don't like Suicidal, they haven't heard it. But we look at it choice, hey, there's a lot of people that ain't going to like us, and that's fine. But if they ain't going to like us, at least we're going to prove that, you know, we're doing our thing, and they can't say that we're not good. And we definitely believe in what we're doing. It's an opportunity, and you don't have to have everybody like you. It gets worthless, you know? And we don't want to be liked, obviously. By everybody.
Exposure. Maybe liked by anybody. June 15th, my birthday, the new Suicidal Tendencies is going to be out in your stores. It's called Still Psycho After All These Years. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Definitely check out the record when it comes out. You're going to dig it. And we'll look for the video, Mommy. I saw your mommy, and your mommy was dead. A lovely, lovely story. It sounds bad when I say it, huh? It kind of ruins the whole song. The way Ricky just said it, man, destroy the song. We'll be back with more Headbangers Ball from my backyard.